Hi and welcome to another video tutorial. In this video we're going to be looking at relational databases. Now in the past you may have looked at a flat file database where you have all your records in one table, and this is fine when the database is very simple, but as you get more complex it becomes a lot more difficult to manage because you start to get repeated records. And that creates data duplication, which means sometimes you want to change the records and you have to change them all, or perhaps you've got duplicated data. So that's where you start to break your tables down into two or more tables. So we're going to create a table for teachers and a table for courses, okay? Because you might get, if you had course and if you had them all in one table, you might get two records for the same teacher because they teach two courses. So I'm going to create a access database. So I'm going to start with creating access and blank database, and this will be school database. Okay, school DB, and I'm going to find the place I'm going to save it, which will be in desktop, and create. Now, first of all, I get all my objects on the left and it opens up the first table, but there's nothing in it. So I want to create this table by going view and design view, and we will call this TBL teacher. Okay. Now the first one will be a teacher ID. This will be our field. And the key there identifies it as a primary key. Now, I'm going to change this from being auto number to being short text. And I'm going to change the field size to being 2 because each teacher will have will have their initials. Then we'll go down to field name. So we'll go, the next one will be our name. So I'll probably say first name. Last name, I think I'll say room number because I'll say all these teachers have a room number, and yeah, I think that's it. I'll have room number, and room number will be a number field. Short text, first name, I'll change this to 25 because that's the maximum. And last name will be maximum 25 as well. And I'm going to right click and save that and go view and datasheet view. So I'm going to enter some data here. So I'm going to put my own initials first, AO, and I'll put my name and room number 45. There it goes at BS. Ben Sanders and 47. Then I'll put MH. One wouldn't allow me because the maximum is 2, and I'll put Matthew Hine, like so, and he is in room 69 there. Then we got AN. Okay, so Amelia Norrie there, and that's in room 10. And we'll have TS Tom Douch, and he's in room 47 as well. Okay, I'm going to right click on the TB table and save, and then I'm going to close that. So that's my teacher table all set up. The next part is I want to have courses because they might offer more than one course. So I'm going to create a new table, create table, and we'll go into view and design view. And I'm going to say TBL, and I'm going to say subject, and OK. Now the first one will be, I think I'll have this as subject code, and I will have this as an auto number, which means it's an automatic number. I'll then say subject name, and that'll be text, which will be 25 field size. We'll have on here description, like so, and that'll be text as well as 25. Oh, sorry, we'll have this as a long text. This will be a memo, so I need to change this to long text here. So that'll be a memo. And then finally we'll have a teacher ID. And because we had this will be using the, this will be a foreign key because it will be kept into the primary key in this table. We want short text and we need to have the field size the same, so 2. And I'm going to just right click on this table, save, then go view and datasheet view. I can't enter anything in subject code because that's an auto number, but I can in these other fields. I'll make these bigger for a minute. So click on the top corner, double click between the column headings like so. I'm going to write some names. So I'm going to write business studies. I'm going to put ICT, I'm going to put computer science, I'm going to put mathematics, I'm going to put history, in fact do I need I tell you what, I don't need teacher ID because to be fair, the teacher ID is going to be in the, it's going to be the subject. The teacher is going to be linked to the subject rather than the other way around. We might have more than one teacher teaching a subject, but one subject taught by more than one teacher. So I'm going to go back to view here and design view. I'm going to delete the teacher ID one and press OK. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, and view there and save it. And then we got description, and I've written some in here. So I'm going to copy the business studies one and put that in here. Just make that bigger. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just make that bigger like that. Okay, so if I drag these down, I can make them bigger, like there. Good. Then we go to ICT, or we'll say copy that, paste, and information and communication technology, ICT. Then we've got computer science. Oh no, we've got geography here. So you've got geography down here. I need to just change this one to geography. Then we go back and I'm going to choose computer science over here. Like there. And I'll put that in this one here. Mathematics. Copy that one and paste it in here. So these are my subject codes, subject name, description. I'm going to right click and save, right click and close. And then we go to teacher. I'm going to add a new field, so design, and I'll say subject ID. And I'll put number for this because it'll be linked to this one here. Okay, and I'll go back to view, yes, and in the ID. Now, hopefully I got this right. I think so. Actually, that doesn't work because then you might have repeated. You can't have two names there, so I can't do that either. I need to think of some way of getting this to work to make sure I've got two subjects in here. I think I'm going to have a third table actually. So I've got subject, so I've got teacher, which is 1. Subject, which is 1, which is good. I'm going to have a third table actually. So I'm going to save this, I'm going to close it. And I'm going to create a third table. And go to view and design view. And this time I'm going to say teaching. So this is TBL teaching. And I'll press OK. And this is going to be just a simple ID. Then I'm going to put subject ID and teacher ID. This one, of course, subject ID is definitely a number. This makes more sense because then we're not duplicating our teachers and we're not duplicating our subject. We've put this in one table. And then we'll put short text here and change this to 2. And I'm going to just right click and save. Right click and save. And what you need to do there is just go back to view. We just need to check which ones are which. So I'm going to open up these 2 tables here. So subject 1 business studies, and that's AN. So I'm going to put 1 here and I'll put AN. I'm going to put 2 and 1 for me, so 1 there and AO, and 1 here, AO. Then I'll put math, which is 4, which would be Mr. Hine. So number 4, which will be MH. And then we have geography, which will be Mr. Sanders and Mr. Douch. So number 3, I think it was. Oh, hang on, I think I need to put that as 2 there. 2. And then we've got number 5, and that's going to be Mr. Sanders and Mr. Douch. So we'll say 5 BS, 5 TD, and I'm going to right click and close all, and that should save. Now at the moment we have 3 tables. 1 with our subjects, just our subject list, 1 with our teachers, and 1 with basically what subjects are taught by what teachers. Okay, that looks like it's duplicated, but they're matched into here. Okay. Now, what I want to do though is I need to create a relationship. I need to tell them these are all linked together. So they're all separate at the moment, but I need to link them together. So I need to go to Database Tools and Relationships and add all these to the table. So I want TBL teaching there, teacher, TBL teaching, and the one with the key is the primary key. These are the ones that tell is unique for each record. And if I look, TBL teaching has a foreign key. These are going to be linked to these 2 tables over here. So I drag subject ID to subject code, and I say enforce reference to integrity, which means I'm avoiding having duplicated data. Likewise, the teacher ID to teacher ID there, enforce, and it begins to create. Something's wrong there, it's not letting me. So if it doesn't let you, either untick it, and it probably will work, or there's something wrong. I'm going to save this, and it's between teaching and teacher. So teacher and teaching. Let's just have a look. I know what I've done. That should be TD there, and that should be TD. I've got the code wrong there, because in the teaching, I can't put a code there that isn't matched to the teacher ID here. And of course, Mr. Douch there, I'd had as TC in here, and I think as TS in here. They weren't similar. It was telling me that, look, you've got TC here, but there's no TC in here. I can't do it. So now they're the same. I close them, and Database Tools, Relationship, and drag the teacher ID to teacher ID over here, enforce, and they should now work. Yes, it's a one-to-many relationship. Teacher can teach many subjects. Subject can be taught by many teachers. Okay, so that's very simple there. So that's you set up a database. I'm going to right click and I'm going to close this here. So these are the primary keys here, the ones with the keys. these two here are foreign because they're connected to the primary keys over here. Okay, I'm going to right click, close, and now I'm going to do a query. I'm going to do a simple query of the database. And I want to find out all the teachers that teach business studies. So I'm going to go to create query design, and I want to know all the teachers that teach business studies. So let's select all the query, all the tables, and we're going to have I'm going to have subject name. I'm going to have first name, and I'll have last name. And if I go to view, I should see all the teachers and subjects. But I only want to see those that teach in business studies, so I could go back to view. Under subject name, in the criteria, I put business studies, like so. So this is what I'm searching for, and I can go view, and I will find all those teachers that are teaching business studies. I can right click, close, I need to save it, and I'll call it BS Teachers. Now, let's suppose I want to do another query. I want to find all those teachers, all those subjects that that myself, Mr. Orm, is teaching. So I go to create, query design, and I'm going to add all the tables again. And this time, I want to find all those subjects, so subject name. I want the description this time, and I want my name. And this time, in the criteria, I'm going to put Orm, and go to view, and this time I'll find all the subjects that are taught by myself. Okay, so I'm going to right click, close, I'll say yes, I want to save that, so I'm going to write this Orm subjects. It's okay. So that's me created that's a very simple tutorial on creating a relational database with 3 tables, primary keys, and also I've run 2 queries of those tables. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoy the videos, and please like, share and comment.